Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to talk about Africa again. Yes, every day we have to talk about our continent. Yes, I think that our continent is not as what we want it to be. But what is important is what we have to do for changing the situation of our country. Africa, you say, our mother. That is, it's very good every time you say me to be abroad, to think about what we have to do. You say me it's very important to be in Africa, to think about what we have to do. Everywhere we are in the world, we have to think about what we have to do for changing the situation of our continent. Africa, if you listen to a lot of persons in the world, you can say that Africa is the poorest country in the world. Africa is the country in the world where you have a lot of disease, and I think that's not very good for an African. Everywhere that we are in the world, we listen to what they are saying about our continent. Because if we think, we understand that the situation of the continent is, you can say, in a part, the result of Africa. Every time we say that 5 centuries of slavery, 5 centuries of colonialism has just world Africa. That's true. But you can tell me also that since 60 years, Africa is under the hand of African people. It means that since then, African people are president of the country. I mean, what is being president of a country and what is leading your country has how it must be. I mean, being a president is just to be elected by your people. Your people have chosen you to lead the country. To lead the country has how they want, but not has how you want you. Or not has how the colonial country wants you to lead your country. In a lot of states in Africa, I mean, those speaking English, they are leading their country as how the people want. And if you go to African countries speaking French, presidents are leading countries as how France, I mean, the colonial states want. I mean, France, which has stolen for 5 centuries what was in the states, France, which has said that she's gone, is until today controlling African states. You say me that is not normal. But that's what African presidents of countries speaking French are doing. French are not officially seen. But if you take a country like Senegal, when you see that all enterprises which is for the nation is under France, it means that France is behind Sall. Sall is the eyes of France, is the hand of France. That's what we don't want. That's what English people are saying, francophonie in the francophonie. And in Senegal, that's making francophobie. When Senegalese people are saying France dégage, France go out, it means that France has stolen everything which is in Senegal. And it's not Senegal only. If you have listened to what we talked at the time, I mean, in a lot of countries, you are saying France go out, it means that they are fed up with that kind of life. They just say, poor, nothing is in the country. And then, what is in the country, what exists in the country, and officially is for the state, is stolen by France. I mean, and at the time, what they have to do, that's the main question. If you take a country like Senegal, you are taking boats for going to Europe. And I think that if you have watched our movies last time, you can understand why. I said that European states don't want to give them visa for going to Europe. And they have stolen what was in Africa, and they don't want to give African youth just just a visa. I mean, not money, just a visa to go in that country. So I think that we have to think about when President Mbeki is saying the marginalization of Africa. I think it's the result of African presidents. Not, by taking the passport of a colonial country, but by giving what is in our states with colonial states. So we have to find a solution, and the solution that how people want is clear. Real independence of our state. I think it was signed in 1960 in Senegal and in all African countries speaking French. It will be applicative. That's the first stage. The second is what we have to do about democracy. Then you see in a lot of African countries speaking French, they say officially you have democracy. But what democracy means for them? I mean for the president in those states. If you take what has happened in some West African states this last month, you can understand the coup in Mali, the situation in Guinea-Conakry after election, in Ivory Coast after election, and what is happening in Senegal this time. I mean, they're talking about democracy, but democracy has its rules. I mean, if the constitution of a country say clearly the president has to do 2 terms, and then when you are elected as a president, when you are in your second term, you call your members in the parliament and say, now what we have to do for changing the constitution to allow me to do a third term. And that's a problem. Because then they have the majority in the parliament. They say, now we are going to change the constitution to allow the president to do a third term. Why? And those who haven't got a term, what is the difference, I mean? All citizens are same rights, same duties. If the constitution in a country says clearly a president has to do 2 terms, not more. You can say me less. He can do a term, but not more than 2 terms. That is clear. That's what democracy means. And the third aspect is good governance. When we say clearly that we have to do what we can for avoiding ethnicism, religionism, and the corruption, for giving work to our youth, we are thinking about the future of the country. And thinking about the future of the continent, when President Mbeki was saying that the 21st century will be African, he was aware. He knew what he was talking about. He knows that Africans of the 21st century will do everything that is possible, everything that they can for being African, for making Africa, you can say, I mean, the first continent of the world. I mean, for Western says that's just a joke, or African says dreaming. No, I think just a dream was done by Martin Luther King, and his dream was real with the election of President Obama in 2008. So now, Africans are thinking really what is okay for the future of the continent, for the people, and not just thinking, are doing what is necessary, and will continue to do it. Thank you very much.